Animals are very important to the British. At home, in the wild, and on the farm. What are the most popular pets in Britain? What wild animals are there? What are the most common farm animals? Well, there are more than 11 million cows. We use them for milk and for beef.
There are also a lot of pigs, 7 million in fact. But there are even more sheep than pigs and cows together. There are about 44.5 million sheep in Britain.
There are lots of birds on farms too, such as turkeys, ducks and chickens. Altogether, there are an amazing 172 million farm birds.
There are about 30,000 different kinds of animals in Britain. The fallow deer is one of the most attractive wild animals. It's also one of the easiest to see because they live all over Britain. Fallow deer live in the countryside, but you can see them in some parks too. One of the smallest wild animals is the field mouse. The largest wild animal is the red deer. Many years ago they lived all over the countryside, but now red deer live mainly in the Scottish Highlands. The badger, of course, is much smaller. You can easily recognise a badger because of its black and white nose. They usually come out at night, so you'll be lucky to see one. Rabbits are easier to see, especially early in the morning and in the evening. This is a hedgehog, the only British animal with spines. Foxes usually live in the countryside. As more and more countryside is disappearing, some foxes are learning how to live in towns. However, not all animals are so good at changing their habits, and some animals need protection from others. This is a red squirrel. 200 years ago, red squirrels lived all over Britain. Then in the 19th century, the grey squirrel came to Britain from North America. The grey squirrel is a little bit bigger than the red squirrel, and it's much better at finding food. Nowadays, you can only find red squirrels in Scotland and some parts of England. The golden eagle also needs protection, but from humans. It's one of the rarest British animals. There are just over 800 golden eagles left in the wild. They are one of the largest British birds and one of the most beautiful. There are a total of 116 protected species of animal in Britain.
Horses are very important in Britain. We ride them in sports such as racing and polo, or just for fun. The police also use horses to control crowds. This is Fred. Isn't he beautiful?
Because they like animals, the British give money to two societies in particular. One is the RSPCA, the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. It started in 1824 and was the first society in the world to protect animals. The other is the RSPB, the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds. This started in 1889.
And of course, a lot of British people have pets. In fact, over 50% of British homes have a pet. Cats, dogs and fish are the most popular. There are 8 million cats in Britain, nearly 7 million dogs and 28 million fish. It's amazing, isn't it?
Have you got any pets?
I've got one dog.
What's its name?
It's called Henry.
I've got one cat called Katie.
I have one kitten called Rasputin.
I've got a pet tortoise, his name's Harry.
I've got a goldfish called Oxo.
Yes, I have a pet and his name's Barney. He's a rabbit.
When your pet gets ill, you'll have to come here, to the vets. Vets are doctors for animals. They usually look after farm animals and pets.
Keep an eye on it. If you notice anything coming back as a worry, then do give me a call.
This is the Beaumont Veterinary Hospital in Oxford. 5 full-time and 2 part-time vets work here. The majority of the animals that they treat are dogs, cats and rabbits.
Here, that's what I can feel, and that's what the vet who saw her yesterday said. We've got 2 choices in terms of what to do with her. One is to have her in an x-ray tomorrow, and the other is to keep her on medication for a while, on painkillers, and see if it's...
The British really love their animals. Walk on, Fred.